latest catalogue is out.
And the prices are always at their best.
And that's guaranteed.
So let's stock up for this week's What's On in the Warehouse.
What's on in the warehouse?
Good afternoon and welcome to FFV Radio in the Mixlr app and mixlr.com/FFV Radio. It's time for kickoff in our Sunday feature game, Bayside United against South Melbourne in NPL Victoria Women's. South Melbourne off to a flying start this season with 2 wins from 2. Bayside hoping to consolidate their position near the top end of the table. Alamein and Calder both unbeaten so far, and Bayside hoping to continue what has been a promising start to them as well. Teo Pellizzeri is my name. Thanks for your company, and don't forget you'll be able to see highlights of today's match both on the South Melbourne YouTube channel and also the Bayside United Facebook page, so keep an eye out for that during the course of the week. We've kicked off here on the grass pitch at Kingston Heath, and I'll run through the teams for you in just a moment, but South Melbourne are looking to venture forward on the attack through Amy Medwin, turning into the challenge of Rina Hirano, but able to find a teammate in Catherine Vlahopoulos, and now out to the left side, Nicolaci, rolling the ball into the path very briefly of Sarah Richardson, and then it's cleared away by the Bayside defence. Chelsea Blissett now on the ball, squares it to Jamie Pollock. South Melbourne happy to consolidate possession. Papatsanis plays it to Leah Scroggy, being given very close attention by Anita Lesh, who wins the ball away. And now Jessau to Emma Runnels on the halfway line for Bayside. Square ball over to Kirsty Shearing. And now Rina Hirano, coming off a hat-trick last week, plays it back to Shearing. And Bayside, for the first time in this game, are stringing some passes together over to the left side and can't find its way through to Connie Lewis, as South Melbourne briefly had the ball and then gave it away. Lesh back to Sienna Fogarty, and now all the way back to Steph Parton. It's been a long winding passage of play to open the match, and it might just bounce on here. Amy Medwin struggling to control the ball. Hirano was there putting pressure on. Now Runnels through the left side, looking for Lewis at the byline, able to keep the ball in and able to get past Papatsanis. Lewis through the penalty area, and no one for Bayside there to meet the ball. And as it rolls out, it allows us to go to the teams. Bayside United with Melissa Maisels in goal, Anita Lesh, Steph Parton, Kirsty Shearing, Sienna Fogarty, Emma Runnels, Candela Ferreira-Bass, Jessau, Connie Lewis, Molly Burke and Rina Hirano. And the South Melbourne team today, Cassandra Zaffiner in goal, Mariana Anthony, Leah Scroggy, Amy Medwin, Chelsea Blissett, Jamie Pollock, Julia Nicolaci, Sarah Richardson, Sophie Papatsanis, Paige Zoyce and Catherine Vlahopoulos. So with some of their more experienced players out, it's still an incredibly young South Melbourne team, but that didn't stop them coming back from 2-0 down to beat Box Hill United last week. Wonder if Bayside can capitalise against the inexperience today. Here is Lewis through the left side, driving it in low. Richardson able to stop the ball, and then Blissett cleared it away, out for a throw. 2.5 minutes gone and 0-0 the score. Good conditions at Kingston Heath today. Lewis ball into the penalty area. Medwin clearing only as far as Jessau, but Nicolaci is able to help out. And now through the left side, Lewis gets another opportunity, driving in another low cross, but can't find a teammate. And it's going to be moved on briefly by Nicolaci, but they've given possession away. Burke able to find Shearing. Now the centre of midfield, Jessau, dispossessed. Zoyce able to win possession for South Melbourne. Leah Scroggy was the most advanced player, had nothing going in support, and then turns and gives possession away. Both sides struggling to keep the ball. You can hear the wind rattling through the effects microphone. It's not the windiest day quite cool, in stark contrast to some of the matches yesterday. Mariana Anthony now at the centre of defence for South Melbourne. Plays it to Richardson. Quick 1-2 with Papatsanis. And trying to accelerate into the attacking half, Sarah Richardson. Bayside defence dropping off, but one of them, Molly Burke, is able to block the ball down. Now Runnels through the left side. Lewis has been the outlet in these opening minutes of the match. Anthony across to guard. Lewis cuts central. Hirano tried for a 1-2. Anthony is there to pick it off. Now Nicolaci out to the left side. Zoyce able to complete the pass. Jamie Pollock, South Melbourne, not too many numbers forward at the moment. Sienna Fogarty is able to outmuscle Catherine Vlahopoulos. Attempted through ball. Papatsanis rolls all the way back to Zafina. So just a reminder to our FFE radio audience today that primary reason we're calling the match is for the South Melbourne YouTube channel and the Bayside United Facebook page, so it's not going to be complete descriptions, but you will hear all the key moments this afternoon. Attempted long ball, Lesh backtracking. First touch coming up for the goalkeeper, Melissa Maisels. Unable to keep it away from Leah Scroggy, who was pressing up. 5 minutes gone, scoreless at Kingston Heath. Lewis through the centre of midfield. Ferreira Bass able to spin away from Blissett and play it out to Jessau on the left. Now trying to find some space, but Mariana Anthony positioned herself well to win the ball back and then rolls it down to Zafina. Anthony gives possession away. Lewis trying to keep the ball at her feet in a bit of a scrap against Papatsanis and Anthony, and in the end tapped the ankles of Mariana Anthony and gave away a foul. Medwin rolls it back to Blissett at the centre of defence. Now Richardson to Anthony. And the referee's whistle has denied Emma Runnels the chance to escape. Shab Roshan is today's referee. Very experienced, does both men's and women's matches. She was doing NPL men's 20s yesterday. And skimming off the head of Anita Lesh, it's going to be a South Melbourne throw right down in front of their coach, Socrates Nicolaitis. And the coach for Bayside today is, of course, Bill Mihaludis, himself a former South Melbourne coach back in the old WPL days. Medwin gives away the ball to Burke, and now Hirano. Pass only found its way to Blissett, sends it all the way back down to Zafina. Medwin and Zoyce plays it square. Vlahopoulos, Richardson, and now Scroggy. Nicolaci tries to flick on a ball through the right. Lewis backtracking. Maisels measures up the back pass and then sends it out to the touchline, bouncing right into the hands of the fourth official underneath our effects microphone for a throw. So Connie Lewis, the Canadian, first season in Australia, playing on the left wing for Bayside United, has already been quite prominent in the game. The team's other international is Rina Hirano from Japan. Zafina hits it out to Medwin on the left, able to shimmy away from Hirano, and now go on a venturing run. Hirano still chasing. Medwin doubles back, takes Hirano on again, and it's very well defended by Hirano, who eventually wins a foul off Medwin who was grappling her to the ground. So a restart to be taken by Melissa Maisels. Didn't play much last year, was at Alamein, then went to Perth Glory for the W League season over summer. Jamie Pollock at the centre of midfield, gives possession away, Shearing to Runnels. And now back to Steph Parton. Bayside with the win very much at their backs in the first half. So Maisels can drive the ball out to Anita Lesh. Able to control the bouncing ball eventually. But gives possession away, and it's going to roll all the way down to the South Melbourne keeper. Blisson. Now Medwin attempting a long ball into the wind. It's going to curl back on the halfway line and find its way out for a throw. Pollock. Now Richardson. 50-50 ball. Papatsanis did well against Shearing. Broke into the centre of defence, and Emma Runnels was there to win the ball off Blissett. Out to Hirano on the right side. This is Rina Hirano trying a left-footed cross. Lewis able to control the ball, pushed over by Papatsanis, and it's a penalty. Not subtle enough there in the challenge from Sophie Papatsanis, and Connie Lewis feeling the push went to ground. And a pretty easy decision for the referee Shab Roshan to point to the spot and give Bayside United the chance to take the lead. And Connie Lewis, who won the penalty, is going to be taking it. Cassandra Zaffina waiting on the goal line. Opportunity for Bayside to strike first. It's Lewis. And scoring past Zaffina, who was left flat-footed. Sent it mid-range to the right. And past the outstretched left hand of the goalkeeper to make it Bayside United 1, South Melbourne 0. And Connie Lewis, who has been the bright spark to start this game, has scored the opening goal coming in the 12th minutes. So it is the Canadian who has scored the opener. Of course, South Melbourne's own Canadian, Natalie Martineau, not playing today. Among those sitting in the dugout with Socrates Nicolaitis, and you may have heard his shout coming through on the FX microphone that that's the standard for the rest of the day. So I wonder if Shab Roshan will be listening right on cue. Candela Ferreira-Bass knocks over Mariana Anthony and gives away a foul. Julia Nicolacci. Now Mariana Anthony. Sends it through the right side. Papatsanis will be determined to make amends for giving away that penalty. Can't chase the ball down on this occasion. Anita Lesh, who came over from Alamein last season, standing at left back. Crossfield ball from Fogarty will find Molly Burke. And now through the right side. Bit of a chase for Hirano, and she won't reach the ball. Out it goes. So we've got an earlier score from women's NPL today. Alamein 7 defeating Southern United 0. Last check it was Box Hill United leading Heidelberg 4-2. So already there's a bit of a divide in the league with some of the haves and have-nots. Calder United and Alamein are both 3 wins from 3. Bulleen Lions have picked up 7 of a possible 9 points to start the season. South Melbourne today have got it all to do if they want to keep their perfect start alive as well, because they're 1-0 down, although it didn't faze them last week against Box Hill. Paige Zoyce trying to escape out of the defensive half. Hirano puts in a challenge and wins the ball. And now Steph Parton scooping a high ball to the edge of the box, and Zaffina is sharply off the line to take possession. Pollock to Scroggy. Still in a defensive midfield position. Nicolaci trying to move it forward, but Parton is there. Sends the ball out to the right. It's going to be a South Melbourne throw. Of course, great for Bayside United that all their senior games will be on the grass pitch this season here at Kingston Heath. Sunday afternoons. And the pitch is looking in pretty good condition. It's a little bit yellow, but it actually plays quite beautifully, so don't be deceived by the appearance. Of course, Bentley Green's men were here on Friday night. They defeated Pascoe Vale 2-0. Throw in for South Melbourne. Nicolaci trying to head it on. Burke back to Parton. Now Ferreira Bass to Runnels through the right side and tumbling out for a South Melbourne throw. Runnels attempting to drive a ball forward. Pollock back to Anthony, and then a mishit pass. Half an opportunity for Lewis, but Papatsanis awake to the danger. Able to clean up and send the ball out to the line for a throw. It's nearly a very costly giveaway from South Melbourne, but able to make amends. And now trying to clear their lines. Sarah Richardson bombs it out for another throw up against the fence. 15.5 minutes gone. Bayside 1, South Melbourne 0. Runnels. Now Jessau. Over the head of Rina Hirano, and Zafina will stop it from going out for a goal kick. Opts to pick it up instead. Maybe not the worst idea into the wind. Rather than having to hit a goal kick, is going to control possession here and hurl it to Mariana Anthony. Now Scroggy gives possession away. Runnels. Sliding in on Vlahopoulos. Fogarty sends it all the way back to Maisels. Molly Burke gives possession away. Jamie Pollock couldn't quite control the ball. Bayside get another opportunity. Shearing. And now Runnels. Sienna Fogarty with a long ball out to the right and volleyed away by Medwin. Bayside throw underneath the scaffold in front of the club rooms. Medwin trying to volley it on, can't find a teammate. Decided to go and attempt to run it down herself, but only collided with Steph Parton, who sends a back pass down to Melissa Maisels. Now Hirano. Hear a helicopter going overhead. Free kick for Bayside. Fogarty hits it into the attacking half. Jamie Pollock rose to the header against Runnels. Richardson was there to follow up. And it bends out towards the sideline. Hirano keeps it in. He's going to take on Medwin, who blocks the cross, took the sting out of the ball. And then Blissett trying to drive it away, but still inside the attacking half. Sienna Fogarty is on the ball. Rolling it out to the right side. Hirano. High cross, looking for Candela Ferreira Bass, but it falls into the arms of the goalkeeper, Zafina. Leah Scroggy. Keeping possession, able to find Sarah Richardson. Now Jamie Pollock hits it up to Vlahopoulos, lays it off through the right side. Loose touch from Papatsanis, but it's going to tumble its way back to Vlahopoulos, and now an attempted through ball for Scroggy. Steph Parton right there with her step for step, able to deflect it behind for South Melbourne's first corner of the afternoon. little bit helter-skelter, but Bayside able to scramble it out, and South Melbourne able to win their first meaningful set piece inside the attacking half. It's going to be Chelsea Blissett to take the corner left-footed. Into a big pack of players. Ferreira Bass got the header, and then Hirano moved it on. Lewis, under pressure from Papatsanis, turning out towards the touchline and eventually out for a throw. Richardson able to intercept the throw initially, but can't take it with her. Bayside ball down at left back. Lewis rolls it back to Fogarty. Fogarty now driving into the attacking half. Ferreira Bass with a flick header out to the left. And it's going to bounce into the path of Jessau. Back to Ferreira Bass, edge of the penalty area. Blissett got a touch. Ferreira Bass chases it down at the byline. Jessau caught in possession by Papatsanis, who is putting the ball out for a throw right next to the corner flag. "20 minutes now gone. Bayside 1, South Melbourne 0. Jessau. Knocked away out for another Bayside throw. Now again. Just thinking about a shot from distance. Knocked off her feet by Richardson. Shearing. Back to Parton. And now Fogarty. Searching through the left side. Runnels trying to lay it off first time. Just got stuck under her foot. And Papatsanis is there to get it away for South Melbourne. And now Vlahopoulos trying to send a through ball for Zoyce. And then Bayside able to clear. Ferreira Bass unable to find a way out of a 1-on-2. Blissett over to the left side. Nicolaci is there. Sends the ball down level with the penalty area towards Scroggy, but Kirsty Shearing is marking her and able to put it out for a throw. Flag up for offside against Medwin, so it'll be a Bayside restart deep at right back. Battle for the ball in midfield. Blissett turns and rolls it back to Anthony. Bouncing from Anthony over to Anita Lesh, who threw herself onto the ball. And now Lewis rolls it back into the penalty area for Maisels. Plenty of time for the keeper to pick a pass and finds Molly Burke. Turning away from Medwin. And now Hirano. Bayside only just inside the attacking half here. Hirano, with a little deflection, rolls it for a throw. Ferreira Bass and Au trying to link up. Jessau over on the right side. Medwin knocks it off her feet. And now Hirano in a battle against Medwin, who's able to stand her ground but can only knock it out for yet another throw. Hard up against the right sideline. Bayside slowly edging forward. Runnels trying to find a teammate in Burke, but couldn't keep it inside the line. South Melbourne will get the ball back. Lahopoulos able to put a foot on the ball and get it to Jamie Pollock. Now Anthony sends it up to the halfway line. Papatsanis tried the pass first time, wins the throw off Lesh. Battle for possession, Nicolaci and Shearing. It's going to be a Bayside throw. Game in a real holding pattern at the moment. Neither side able to really create much by way of attacking opportunities. One team or the others trying to break it open. Hirano chasing a long ball. Zafner out to the edge of her area. Couldn't go with the hands, and feet first is able to steer it out for a throw. Thrown in by Burke. Ferreira Bass able to roll Pollock from the edge of the box. Left-footed drive, missing to the near side. Maybe a sign of what's possible though. In the blink of an eye, Ferreira Bass turned a seemingly harmless throw in into a shot at goal. Not quite on the target. Lewis can't keep possession. Gets it back from Papatsanis though. Jessau through the left. Lesh getting forward. Swings in a left-footed cross. Hirano missed the volley, and Jamie Pollock is there to clear it away. Vlahopoulos through the left finds Nicolaci. Nicolaci back to Vlahopoulos, being closely followed by Molly Burke. So that's Bayside's best chance to score a second. It was a good ball into the area, and we've barely seen Anita Lesh get forward down that left side, but first cross into the box for the day was a very good one. Rena Hirano just couldn't make contact with the ball. Zafner, now Blissett to Jamie Pollock. Now Amy Medwin. South Melbourne happy to consolidate and keep possession in their defensive third. Pollock. High ball through the right side. Holds up against the wind, and it's going to bounce into the path of Lesh as a result. Now Lewis trying to turn, but Richardson was right there with her. It's still going to be a Bayside throw. Ferreira Bass now, sandwiched in a 1-on-2. And appeared to clip the heels of Jamie Pollock, but play continues through the right side. Runnels pass, releasing Rena Hirano. Up against Medwin, tangle of legs. Ball comes to a stop. Hirano back out of the box to Shearing. Swinging it across the face. Lewis totally unmarked and hits the post. Well, that should have been a second for Bayside. South Melbourne with a lucky escape, and Amy Medwin scrambles it away. Almost too much time for Connie Lewis to think about it. And inside the 6-yard box, drove the ball onto the inside of the post. And that really should have been Bayside doubling their lead. And all of it coming after it did appear as though Jamie Pollock was fouled in the build-up. Maybe these things have a funny way of evening themselves out. South Melbourne can count themselves lucky that it remains only 1-0 here. 27.5 minutes gone. Ferreira Bass. Bayside will be hoping that they can capitalise on a bit of momentum here. Steph Parton bouncing through the right side. And it took a little deflection off Medwin on the way, so it's a South Melbourne defensive setup once again as Bayside have the throw. Ferreira Bass rolling Pollock once again. Has done that with some success today. Jessau now, top of the box, back to goal, trying to squeeze through. Took on one defender too many. Mariana Anthony gets it away. Anita Lesh. Through ball, Lewis, edge of the area, whipping it through the 6-yard box, and Medwin puts it behind for a corner. Hirano was coming in on a very tight angle from the right. Perhaps not likely to score in that situation, but Melbourne wasn't letting the ball get through. Wind is really hammering towards Bayside's end as well, so good delivery here from Lesh, and it's going to be tough to deal with for the South defence in at the near post, and the delivery was not good. It's out before even arriving in the penalty area. Mariana Anthony now rolls it to Papatsanis on the right. Papatsanis to Nicolaci. Back to Papatsanis. South Melbourne have not shown a great deal of patience in their attacking play today. Zoyce trying to hurry it forward. Shearing through the penalty area. Clearance only as far as Richardson, who drives it wide right. Left-footed shot. Not close to the target, and out it goes. Mazzles with the goal kick then. Bouncing up to Richardson on halfway. Papatsanis. Richardson. Now Nicolaci keeping the ball in on the right. Jessau comes across, shoulder to shoulder. And then assistance from Sienna Fogarty, who steers it over the line. Papatsanis. Ferreira Bass in physically on Richardson. And the decision is a foul by the Bayside player. And the referee, Shab Roshan, actually shushed the Bayside coach there after a shout of protest. Nicolaci hurrying to take the free kick and floating it out to the byline, where it's been turned over the line for a corner. It didn't quite bend out in the end. Molly Burke had to put it over the line. South Melbourne get themselves an opportunity to try and find an equaliser here. Nicolaci goes over to take the corner from the left side down at the centre Dandenong Road end. Pack of players waiting at the near post. Nicolaci's corner headed away by Fogarty. Hirano rolls it on. And they've got open field to break into here, Bayside. Hirano through the right side. Lewis calling for the pass. She's run offside though. Hirano keeps the ball at her feet. Taking on Anthony and breaking into the area from the right side. Cross into the box. It's going to find its way to Ferreira Bass. And the finish is blocked away. South Melbourne scrambled numbers back in time. And now out to left back. Vlahopoulos will find the ball under considerably less pressure. So the size of the pitch was a huge factor in that counter-attack there. Both teams really desperately running to try and get into the penalty area. South Melbourne got the numbers back in time. Pollock. Now Shearing through the right side. No one there for Bayside. It'll bounce out for a goal kick. Zafina sends it out to the left. Blissett. Nicolaci still in the defensive half. Back to Blissett. Now Medwin. Jamie Pollock. Knocked over by Ferreira Bass. Play continues. And Ferreira Bass wins the ball for Bayside. Jessau. Pass intercepted by Pollock. Now Scroggy. To Nicolaci. Drifting into the attacking half, Nicolaci, and trying to measure a through ball. Parton back to Maisels and is able to clear it away. Throw in for Papatsanis. Now Zoyce. Nicolaci's there. Jessau wins the ball off her. Ferreira Bass. Back to Connie Lewis. Fogarty. Sends it to Lesh. And on the back of the wind is hitting a long ball down the left side. Mariana Anthony will watch it roll, and in the end the wind just gave it enough to send it all the way over the line and out for a goal kick. Runnels, header through the left. Lewis is there. Turns onto her right foot, looking for Hirano, and over the head of the Japanese attacker and out for a goal kick. Ambitious ball into the box, but Rina Hirano very nearly made it work. Scroggy. Back to Blissett. Blissett measures a pass to Richardson. And then just surrendered back to the Bayside defence. Maisels. Drives it out to the right side. Hirano, legged by Medwin. Foul given. Hirano on halfway. Scroggy. Attempted through ball, headed away by Shearing. Now Parton. Bouncing on to Ferreira Bass. Hits a long ball into space. Zafina doesn't have to go out of the penalty area. Able to roll into her hands. 36 minutes gone. Bayside United 1, South Melbourne 0. Only goal coming from the penalty spot. That was in the 12th minute. Bayside have had a couple of gilt-edged misses since then to double their lead. South Melbourne still really struggling to create anything at all in an attacking sense. Burke on the ball at the moment. Connie Lewis. Anthony got a boot in, but not able to win possession back for South Melbourne as Jessau comes through. Medwin volleys away. Out to the right side and Burke. Back to Parton. Played all the way back to Maisels. Lesh, long ball, intercepted by Anthony. Now Nicolaci attempting a through pass, intercepted by Parton. Hirano moves it on to Ferreira Bass. A few gaps opening up here for Bayside to try and break into. Medwin backtracking down to the byline, and Zafina has done well to stop it going out for a corner. Hits the clearance, and Lohopolis was committed to try and get to the ball. Plays it back to Medwin. Now back into the penalty area for Blissett. Richardson back to Anthony. Shearing to Runnels, knocks it down for Jessau through the left. Lewis has made a good run. Able to take on Blissett, who did very well to win the ball away. Lewis goes and chases it down at the left touchline and then hurdles past Papatsanis, driving it low and straight onto the boot of Jamie Pollock, who clears. Lesh sends across into the box. Ferreira Bass able to control. Shooting left-footed on the turn. And all the sting was taken out of it by Blissett, who was marking Ferreira Bass closely. Ball spinning into the arms of Cassandra Zafina, who picked it up. Another promising attack for Bayside, though. Must feel as though they're getting closer to a second goal. South Melbourne trying to come up with a response. Jamie Pollock. Pass was square, giving possession away to Shearing. Now Lewis. Anthony all the way back to Zafina. Drives it out to Medwin. Blissett to Scroggy. Dispossessed by Shearing, coming through from the blind side and now taking on Blissett, who's ushering the ball down towards the byline and steering it to safety for a goal kick. Into the 40th minute then. 5+ stoppage until half-time. Nicolaci. Zois. Pavitsanis plays it to Zois. Lesh got a boot in and cleared it to Ferreira-Bass. Now Lewis, early ball. Hirano off and running. Zafina lured out of the area. Rena Hirano got to the ball and it's bounced into the back of the net. Amy Medwin was back on the line trying to clear it away but couldn't succeed in doing so. And Rena Hirano has made it Bayside United 2, South Melbourne 0. Just for a moment there, it looked as though it had bounced on the firm surface high enough to even get into or over the crossbar, but it just dipped into the back of the net, and Amy Medwin, who was chasing it back onto the line, put the boot through the ball, but only succeeded in kicking it into the roof of the net. And Bayside were threatening a second. They've found the backet. 41 minutes the goal. And Rena Hirano adds to her scoring tally this season. Just like last week, South Melbourne find themselves in a 2-0 hole. Can they get a response before half-time? Scroggy lays it off to Nicolaci and then dinks a ball into the area to no great purpose. So it's the two internationals that have scored for Bayside. Lewis in the 12th minute, Hirano in the 41st. The wind at their backs in the first half, they have been able to draw Cassandra Zafina out of the penalty area a number of times. They're going to try it again here as Medwin misses the clearance, and then a poor touch from Hirano, just knocking it straight into Mariana Anthony, and that turns into a clearance for South Melbourne. Pollock. Now Richardson to Anthony. To Pavitsanis. Bayside creating a block in midfield and sending it out for a throw. Throw in for Pavitsanis. Zois trying to hold off Lesh. Lewis comes in. And it breaks central for Shearing to be able to clear. Hirano. Up against Richardson. Shouting in frustration perhaps at referee and teammates. Lesh. Defended by Anthony. Bending into the fence and out. Emma Runnels. Plays it to Parton. Early ball through the left side. Zafina read it best. Has to come out of the area though, and it's awkward as she's caught in possession by Runnels. At the line, Zafina doubling back onto her goal line, and Jamie Pollock, oh, dangerous clearance. Amy Medwin saves the day, blocks it out for a corner after Lewis was honing in on the bottom right corner. Chaos in the South Melbourne defence. And Amy Medwin, impromptu goalkeeper there, able to steer Lewis's shot clear of goal. Perhaps Connie Lewis, who did put a bit of a gimme into the post earlier, should have added to her tally already today. Bayside still have a corner. South Melbourne need half-time to arrive. Lesh bending it into the near post where Richardson heads it back out for another corner kick. Lesh places the corner again. This one again into the near post, just not getting any distance on it, but South Melbourne have donated it back for another corner kick here, but Lesh just had 3 so far. None of them have asked too many serious questions. Is it third time lucky? Lesh off the long run up, whipping it into the near post again, flicked through the area and turned in. Molly Burke. Bayside do make it 3 before the break. And as the ball tumbled to the far post, Molly Burke was there and able to guide it into the back of the net. South Melbourne find themselves in a big hole now, and Bayside United, in the closing minutes of the first half, have been able to take this game and blow it right open. Burke scoring just as the game ticked into first half stoppage time. Put it down in the 45th minute, following Hirano's goal for 2-0 in the 41st. And we saw South Melbourne produce the miraculous last week, coming from 2-0 down. Well, now they find themselves in an even more desperate situation as we go to the halftime break. Bayside firmly in control on the scoreboard, and it has to be said, firmly in control of general play as well. Bayside to kick off then in the second half. They'll be going against the wind. Wonder if that'll be a factor at all as they get play back underway, leading 3-0 goals to Connie Lewis, who's on the ball at the moment, Rena Hirano, and also Molly Burke. For those of you who've joined us during the halftime break, we'll go through the teams on the pitch as well. No subs made. Of course, you get 5 in the women's NPL, so both teams, I'm sure, will be looking to their benches as the second half goes on. Sun has broken out here at Kingston Heath, so we've got shadows for about a quarter of the pitch. South Melbourne trying to play through the middle at the moment, but Steph Parton is there to steer it back to Maisels, who clears first time. So let's start with the home team. Melissa Maisels in goal for Bayside United. Centre back Sienna Fogarty and Steph Parton. Right back Molly Burke. And left back at the moment is Anita Lesh. Central midfield, Kirsty Shearing. In front of her, Emma Runnels. And at the moment, Candela Ferreira-Bass playing as a number 10. And then out on the right side, Jess Howe. On the left, Connie Lewis. And up top, Rena Hirano, one of the goal scorers. And she's being played through the right here by Jess Howe. Taking on Blissett. Hirano able to send across low, tumbling into the area. Lewis loads up, and that was nearly the perfect start to the second half. But Zaffiner is able to hold on to a shot that really lacked a bit of power in the end. Chances piling up for Connie Lewis. Scored the penalty, no worries, earlier in the game, but could have had a hat-trick by now. Let's take a look at the South Melbourne team. Cassandra Zaffiner in goal. Centre-backs at the moment, Jamie Pollock and Chelsea Blissett. Left back, Amy Medwin. Right back, Sophie Papatsanis. In midfield, Sarah Richardson, Catherine Vlahopoulos and Julia Nicolaci. And then up front, it's Leah Scroggy, Paige Zoyce, and they have made a sub, South Melbourne, because they've brought on Miriam Anvari. And just trying to work out who she's replaced here at the start of the second half. Flag is up at the top of the penalty area. It's going to be a Bayside ball. But it looks as though Mariana Anthony has had to make way at half-time. So it's an attacking substitution for Socrates Nicolaitis. He's taken off one of his centre-backs and he's sent on Mariam Anvari to lead the line here. Of course, she scored in a pre-season friendly against Bayside United, so why not try and repeat the dose again? It means that Jamie Pollock has dropped into the centre of defence with Anthony off the pitch. Of course, there's going to be an element of risk to that as well. If they commit more numbers forward, there could be more goals. Bayside United held a 1-0 lead from the 12th minute with Connie Lewis winning and scoring the penalty. And then in the 41st minute, it was a ball over the top and a lob from Hirano that made it 2-0. And then the third coming from a corner that squeezed through to the back post and was bundled in by Molly Burke. Zoyce able to find Richardson through the right side and puts it wide to the right. With a deflection, out for a corner. Maisels may well have had it covered. And so it's going to be an early corner for South Melbourne. Wonder if they can make the most of the wind being behind them here in the second half. Chelsea Blissett, the left footer, is going over to take the corner kick, and the wind remains just as strong as it was in the first half. Blissett's corner, a short one, quick one too. Edge of the box. And not able to deliver the ball in the end as Steph Parton took it off her feet. Now Connie Lewis in a battle against Medwin, who's able to win it back for South Melbourne. Through the right side they go. Medwin trying to volley it on and runs out of room at the byline as it goes out for a goal kick. So looking at the rest of the players on the bench, South have made that one change. They've still got their second keeper, Alexia Karatsikos, Irene Paraki, Emily Raymond, and the trump card, Melina Ayres. Wonder if we'll see her sooner rather than later here. And then Bayside, yet to make a sub. Celia Kelsel, their second keeper, Bronte James, Sarah Walsh, Emily Harbis and Grace Norbury. So a reasonably well-balanced bench for Bayside today. Zoyce to the top of the area, cleared by Shearing. Chested down by Richardson, who tries the shot on sight and sends it wide left, out for a goal kick. 50 minutes ticked over. Bayside United 3, South Melbourne 0. Great to have South Melbourne player Alex Gummer listening in from overseas. How they could use her out there today, along with Natalie Martineau, Alex Cheel, Tiff Eliadis. A lot of the stars of last year's grand final not available at this early stage of the season. Medwin tried to run central. Shearing was committed. Knocked the ball away. Slow to get back up. Runnels now physical. And barging into Scroggy. South Melbourne win the ball back though. Zoyce, neat little layoff. Richardson to Vlahopoulos. And now Scroggy shooting from distance, and Maisels down to the left, able to hold in both hands. Set herself for the dive early there and watched the ball all the way. South Melbourne showing a lot more purpose in the early stages of this second half, but so far Maisels untroubled. Now sending the ball into the wind. That will be tough in this second half, and Emma Runnels giving away a foul for a push. Blissett takes it quickly. Nicolaci. And now Vlahopoulos to Richardson, who's really come out with some purpose in this second half, and now driving another long shot into the arms of Maisels. That was from a good 15 metres outside the area, and with the wind at her back, it just stayed low and flat and was well held by the keeper. Maisels rolls the ball out of the area and then hits it onto the head of Nicolaci. And Vari coming across from an offside position. Was always hanging offside, and ultimately making a play on the ball, gets whistled for doing so. So let's take a look at the live table at the moment. Alamein, 9 points plus 13. Calder, 9 points, and after their 8-1 win yesterday, they are plus 14, so they'll edge up to the top of the table. Bayside have 9 points on the live table and are currently plus 14. And on goals scored, Bayside will be top of the league as things currently stand. If I've got that correct. I think their goals for and goals against is actually exactly the same as Calder at the moment, so second half of this game might actually sort out who gets to finish the round on top of the ladder this weekend. Bulleen Lions complete the top four on 7 points. South Melbourne course, this game's got plenty of time to go. They have 6. Box Hill United got their first win today. They're on 4. And then you got 0-0 at the bottom of the league. But here's Anvari with a through ball to Zeus. Top of the area. Zeus one-on-one against the keeper. And South Melbourne have a foothold back in the game. Good finish from Paige Zeus. It's South Melbourne 1, Bayside 3, and the sub, Mariam Anvari, playing the through ball to Paige Zeus, who put it in the back of the net. A couple of young players combining. And maybe, just maybe, for the second week in a row, they can come back from a seemingly impossible position. Composure from Zeus going up against a W League goalkeeper. Didn't faze her in the slightest. And in the 54th minute, it's 3-1. Just to finish off the ladder, Geelong Galaxy on 0 points, Heidelberg 0, NTC 0, and Southern United 0. It's an amazing coincidence of the fixture that none of those teams have been able to play each other in the opening rounds of the season. Maybe they'll get some relief when they actually start to have some head-to-heads against one another, but it really does mean we've got a significant divide in the competition already. Bayside haven't really put together an attack yet in this second half. It's been 10 minutes of South Melbourne's best. Richardson gives away a free kick over on the right side, and they'll send up Fogarty to take the free kick. Fogarty drifting the ball into the path of Runnels, and Zaffiner was there to make a contest. Couldn't really take the ball cleanly, but it was knocked away. Now Scroggy. South Melbourne playing with a bit of momentum behind them. Zeus already has 1 goal in pocket, playing it through the right side. Anvari trying to make an impact here off the bench. And can't control the ball down at the byline, yields it to Parton. And now played short to Lesh. Ball bouncing down the touchline, and South Melbourne will regain possession. Pollock, who's now at the centre of defence. Not sure that's the greatest move to try and get South back in the game. She provides so much drive from midfield. Blissett sending a long ball through the left side. Way too much on it for Medwin to run down, and it's out for a goal kick. Oh, there must have been a deflection. It's going to be a corner instead. Little bonus here for South Melbourne. Julia Nicolacci stands over the corner kick. Bayside, all bar 1, back in the penalty area. Nicolacci's corner, high to the far post. Maisels punches away. And it's going to tail along the byline where Anvari can't control the ball, and this time it is indeed a goal kick for Bayside. Maisels' goal kick sets Lesh a task, but Fogarty is there to get it away. Now Connie Lewis plays it to Runnels through the left. Anita Lesh, long ball. Blissett trying to judge the flight, able to keep it from Ferreira Bass. Now Papatsanis. Zeus rolls it back to Jamie Pollock. South Melbourne running out of space against the right touchline. Referee Chabroshan blowing a whistle, insisting on bringing a stop to play. Looks like Melina Ayres is getting some final instructions here from Socrates Nicolaitis, and the paperwork's going in. So at 3-1 down, is this going to be the Melina Ayres show for the second week in a row? Richardson. Out to the right side, Papatsanis plays it back to Pollock. Now Medwin. Dashing central Medwin on the diagonal. And eventually ran out of time and ideas. Caught in possession by Fogarty. It's going to break to the right though. Trying to create some pressure here. Lewis. And now Richardson rolls it back to Pollock. Jamie Pollock, and now Nicolaci blocked away. Attempted through ball, blocked away from Vlahopoulos. And now for Erebus, long ball, knocked down by Medwin. Neither team, I should say, can connect a pass at the moment. Anvari now, trying her luck through the left side, up against Molly Burke. It's Anvari onto the right foot. Cross is blocked straight off the boot. Hirano.
Shoulder line, shoulder line, shoulder line. Shoulder line.
Hear the shouts
Put your body in there.
of both coaching staff, and Chelsea Blissett has knocked over Rena Hirano and fallen into her back, so full value for the foul there. Very sore as a result, Hirano. And the board is up. Sub's going to be made here. Catherine Vlahopoulos is going to stay on. She was running to the bench. Instead, it's going to be Sophie Papatsanis coming off for Melina Ayres. So South Melbourne make their second change of the game, and Ayres, the reigning golden boot, comes on. And it's going to lead to a tactical reshuffle here, it seems, because Ayres is going up top and Papatsanis was playing down at right back. So we'll sort that out after South Melbourne defend this free kick. Fogarty hits it to the edge of the area. Runnels, a flick header, but moving laterally across the pitch. Shearing chases it down. 50-50 ball against Scroggy, who won out. Now Lesh, curving into the path of Richardson, unable to find Vlahopoulos. Now Nicolaci, trying to find Zeus on the right. And challenge coming in on Paige Zeus. You can hear the protestations of the South Melbourne bench. And it's going to be the first yellow card of the game. Anita Lesh is booked for the foul on Paige Zeus. So the left back will have to be careful from this point forward. Certainly a mild-mannered player, Anita Lesh, not the sort you associate with running too egregiously foul of the referee. So a free kick for South Melbourne. If they get it back to 3-2 here, it well and truly is game on. Given how far away we are from full time. Still only an hour gone. It's Nicolaci's free kick, and Maisels judges it well, holding it on the goal line. Hurled out to Molly Burke. And Burke up to the halfway line. Hopeful long ball, but Ferreira Bass will meet it. Knocked over by Blissett. Play continues. Fans starting to find their voice. You can tell it's a game that's, even though it's 3-1, right back up for grabs at the moment. Bit of feeling in the contest. Nicolaci spinning away from Lewis. Now over to Scroggy on the right side. Quick 1-2. Nicolaci down on the right sideline. Lights starting to come on here at Kingston Heath. A little bit gloomy overhead. It's been windy all game. Now we've got some ominous clouds starting to close in. Ferreira Bass's trap into the path of Hirano, and now it's a flat-out sprint as she leads Blissett into the penalty area, but Medwin was able to get back and turn the ball out for a corner kick. Zaffina didn't want to pick up the ball there, fearing a back pass, and so it's going to be a Bayside corner.
You're facing me and you go like that. Let's go!
The fourth goal would certainly have Bayside feeling a lot more secure about the state of the game at the moment. Connie Lewis to take. Plenty of tall targets. Fogarty, Runnels, Ferreira Bass, all capable of scoring in the air. It's onto the head of Runnels, but right up at the top of the area. And there was a push on Richardson in order for her to get to the ball. Referee insisting a retake here. Paperwork goes in for another Bayside sub. I suspect it might be Grace Norbury, next cab off the rank. Blissett plays it central. Nicolaci, loose touch and a 1-on-3. The Bayside numbers win out. Runnels attempted through ball. Nicolaci able to block it back into her control. Medwin. Now Anvari, able to sprint away from Burke and runs out of room hard up against the sideline. Just for a second, thought she might have been away there, Mariam Anvari. Here, Socrates Nicolaitis shouting to his team. We're all right in front of the effects microphone at the moment on our touchline on the near side. Zoyce plays it back to Nicolaci. And now through the right side, Scroggy back to Zoyce. Well worked by South Melbourne. Scroggy on the run. And now Anvari, top of the box, and no real power behind the shot, just curling harmlessly into the arms of Maisels. Mariam Anvari, just 16 years old. Afghanistani. Great to see her breaking into the South Melbourne senior team. Jamie Pollock gives the ball away. Ferreira Bass top of the box, and Pollock able to make amends by throwing her body in front of Ferreira Bass's attempted shot. And the referee is not going to blow for a sub just yet. Emma Runnels, who looks absolutely exhausted out there, is going to be the player coming on. Off, I should say, for Grace Norbury. Chances at both ends at the moment. It feels as though Bayside are just as likely to score a fourth as South Melbourne a second. Shearing wins possession off Richardson. Now Runnels, one last effort digging deep perhaps. Hirano was in a tussle with Blissett. Richardson came across to win the ball for South Melbourne. Down the line, Anvari left the ball behind with her first touch. And Runnels rolls it back to Parton. And the pass a little bit underhit. Nicolaci wins it for South Melbourne, and now the through ball is trying to put off Maisels, who was playing keeper sweeper, and Ferreira Bass is coming back from an offside position. So that does bring a stop to play and allow the sub to go through. Emma Runnels is absolutely spent at the end of 66 minutes of effort, and the crowd shows their appreciation as Grace Norbury comes on. Game's going at a decent tempo as well, especially compared to the first half. Medwin cross to the top of the area. Ayres. Now Nicolaci loves a shot from distance. This one's off target though, wide right. And out for a goal kick. Compare it to yesterday in the unforgiving 36-degree temperature. It's a game that, well, just looks like it's a totally different level of football, given the understandably conservative approach that both Bulleen and Galaxy took to yesterday's match. This game feels as though it's going at a crazy pace. Norbury out to the right side. Hirano can't fool Medwin, and now Richardson comes across to lend support. Bending one way and the other and tries to flick the ball through, but Blissett was awake to it. Jessau now goes in and fouled by Vlahopoulos. Just a needless little lean into the back of her feet.
Let's go!
So it's a free kick in a pretty dangerous position here. Sienna Fogarty, Cassandra Zafford, and not the tallest goalkeeper. This is a really dangerous situation here for South Melbourne. Don't rule out the direct shot on goal. Sienna Fogarty has a reputation for long distance free kicks. This one is going to be drifted into a pack of players, and the flag's up. Hirano was offside. And that is just a lack of concentration there for Bayside United. From the restart, back to the centre of defence. Pollock knocks it over to Blissett. Now Vlahopoulos. Leah Scroggy's gone into the back four after that substitution to bring on Melina Ayres. Norbury was a straight swap for Runnels, playing at the centre of midfield. Connie Lewis. Block tackle, taken away by Zois. And Shearing able to win possession. Bursting through the left side, and Jamie Pollock able to read the ball well and win it back for South. Nicolaci, long ball, and Molly Burke able to break its speed and go and roll it back to her goalkeeper. Hazel's clearance over the line and out for a throw. Into the 70th minute then. South Melbourne 1, Bayside United 3. Anvari, ball into the penalty area, cleared by Fogarty. Now Richardson. Ran straight into Shearing. Norbury able to take the possession back. Rena Hirano has now breaking down the right, but wanted Ferreira Bass in the middle, and now Hirano able to capitalise. Top right corner of the area. It's a very gentle cross. Didn't really achieve much, and cleared by the South Melbourne defence. Good touch from Vlahopoulos. Able to roll it into the path of Nicolaci. Melina Ayres to really make an impact on the game, but this could be the start of something. Able to nick it around Anita Lesh. Lesh doubling back. Ayres keeping the ball at her feet. Some 10 metres from the area. Fires a shot just wide to the left. She is playing on a different plane at the moment, Melina Ayres. Just the intimidation factor for opponents trying to defend her, it's pretty obvious. This is not a superhuman player. This is someone that can be stopped, but at the moment, if anything, I'd have to say Bayside showing a little bit too much respect and inviting on Melina Ayres, and that was nearly inside the bottom corner for 3-2. Ferreira Bass. Long ball through the left side, and Connie Lewis, tight call. Very tight call from the assistant referee, offside. I'm only on a slight angle away from where the assistant's standing, so he did have the better vantage point than I, but I thought Connie Lewis was all right there. South Melbourne won't mind, and they get the restart. If they are going to get something from today, they're going to need to peg one of these 2 goals they trail by back soon. 71 minutes ticked over. Second half has really gone quite quickly. It's been entertaining stuff. South Melbourne have had the better of it. Nicolaci. Cross straight into the midriff of Molly Burke, and now Hirano back helping out in defence. Trying to escape Amy Medwin, who dragged her down and fouled her. And it is going to be a yellow card for Amy Medwin. I think was pretty well aware of what she was doing there, Medwin, that if Hirano escaped, it was going to be a booking. Now, Bayside make their next sub. Kirsty Shearing is coming off for Emily Harvest. So, Shearing, who is such a combative player, so important to many of those midfield duels, leaves the game. That's 2 of the more experienced veteran players of the Bayside team that have been subbed off now in Runnels and Shearing, replaced by Norbury, who is a youngster, and Emily Harvest, who, in spite of her level of experience, is still only a young player. I wonder if South Melbourne might fancy their chances of being able to take a bit of control of this game now with 2 of those more intimidating physical threats off the pitch for Bayside United. Jess Howe able to clip it around Medwin, who does have to be careful on a yellow now, and Medwin back in, stayed on her feet, puts it behind for a corner. And all of this in the context that if Bayside do score a 4th, That will be game, set and match. And they will go on to be 3 wins from 3. Anita Lesh goes over from left back to take the corner on the right side. Bayside with numbers waiting at the far post. Lesh to the near post where Jamie Pollock volleys away. Just hasn't been her day on corners, Lesh. Clumsy challenge comes in from Anvari, knocking over Jessau. And it's just a talking to. No card for Mariam Anvari. Jessau, inevitably always the most diminutive player in any game. Anvari, by no means a great deal taller than her, but still able to send her sprawling to the turf. And it is a free kick for Sienna Fogarty. 10 metres outside the area on the right. Fogarty looking for Ferreira Bass. Jamie Pollock rises to the header. Norbury with a left-footed follow-up. It's just a sky ball and an easy catch for Zafina. Foul against Anvari once again, going the way of Jessau. So Fogarty with a free kick, another 10 metres further out than the one just a moment ago. This one curving to the edge of the 6-yard box. Ferreira Bass with a header on. Zafina went with a punch. Down to Ferreira Bass at the edge of the area, but Richardson willed herself onto the ball and is able to find Vlahopoulos. Anvari. Back to Blissett. And now Richardson. Through the left, Anvari. Ducks back into the defensive half to Blissett. Bayside will consider that a tactical victory as they've slowed South Melbourne's attack down. Over to the right side they go. Scroggy was playing in the forward line in the first half. Now over at right back to Melina Ayres. Up against Lesh over on the sideline. Able to win a throw. Scroggy. The battle against Norbury. The ball is knocked out once again. 76 minutes ticked over, so time very much becoming the enemy of South Melbourne and the friend of Bayside here as they lead 3-1. Now in a scrap, it's a foul against Ferreira Bass. Nicolaci wins the free kick. Free kick is shallow, volleyed away by Norbury. Bouncing ball into the path of Harvest, and now taking on Blissett. Harvest shooting from the top of the box, and in the end it bent well wide of the target. That's what Emily Harvest does though. She loves to go for the element of surprise and shoot early. On that occasion just hooked it well wide of the target. Bayside have had plenty of opportunities to net a fourth and put this one out of reach. Game remains up for grabs at the moment. Trying to join Alamein and Calder with 3 wins from 3 to start the season. Pollock, long ball, Ayres breaking, but Parton read it best in the air and gets a good header away. Lesh. Now Lewis. It's Connie Lewis with a long ball. Hirano onside this time. Zafina out of her line. Medwin doubling back to get on the goal line, and Zafina able to get there and affect the shot from Hirano. Medwin blocked it on the line. Harvest follows up, and it's held on to by Zafina. Hectic passage of play, and Amy Medwin for the second time in this game has blocked a goal-bound shot and been able to save South Melbourne from conceding. Not the greatest piece of goalkeeping, but ultimately Cassandra Zafina was able to get back in time to deflect Rena Hirano's shot and take the power out of the ball. Vlahopoulos. Now South would love to capitalise right here. Anvari's through ball, blocked by Parton. And now Vlahopoulos out to the left side, but Parton is quick and will get there first, sending the ball down the line. Hirano able to get to the ball. Off and running. Medwin has to be careful on a yellow. Hirano hurdles past. And now South Melbourne find Anvari. Little back heel to Richardson. And Richardson pulls up just a little bit tired, perhaps, and can't keep the ball in. Steph Parton with the ball at her feet. Goes for a long pass up to the halfway line. Hirano. Ferreira Bass battling against Anvari. Hits a blind pass. Pollock able to control it on the chest and play it back to Blissett. Paperwork in for South Melbourne's next sub. It's going to be Emily Raymond coming on. Was at the Bulleen Lions last year. Burke against Anvari. And off the head of Burke, it's out for a throw. Medwin throws it in. In a 1-on-2, Jessau snapping at the heels. Medwin against Al, rides the challenge, turns onto her left into the near post. Fogarty clears. Now Al to Ferreira Bass. Southern holding firm at the moment. Into the last 10 minutes then, 80th minute on the clock. And now a pass through the right side. Ayres is in for South Melbourne. And Melina Ayres does what she does. It's 3-2. And with 10 minutes remaining, Melina Ayres off the bench, perhaps, just perhaps, for the second week in a row, is going to try and lead what seemed like an impossible comeback. So simple in the end. Melina Ayres able to place the ball across Melissa Maisels into the bottom left corner. And just like that, in the 81st minute, we might be set for another big finish once again. It's 3-2, and Bayside United, this will be a real show of how much has changed under Bill Mihaludis and how much the new recruits have brought to the team. Do they have the composure to close this game out? Especially given some of the gilt-edged chances they've had to put it beyond South Melbourne's reach. Anvari attempting the through ball. Ayres is the target. Orange shirts surround her as Bayside win it away. Now a long ball. Pollock rolls it back to Zafina. Nicolaci. Out to the right side. Zoyce. Richardson back to Pollock. Nicolaci. South Melbourne owning the ball at the moment. Zoyce holding off Ferreira Bass, but ultimately Ferreira Bass got a boot in. Found Hirano. Lewis has faded out of the game. Trying to control the ball here. And now Rena Hirano had that chance about 3 minutes ago where it looked harder not to score. Harvest lays it out to the right. Norrie chasing, but Anvari will get there first. And Anvari looking for Vlahopoulos. Ball runs over the line though. Burke. Now Lewis. Molly Burke with a long ball. Blissett misses it in flight. Harvest trying to capitalise at the fall. Outside the area on the right. No one in the box just yet. Now Hirano arriving late and followed by Scroggy all the way, who was able to deflect it clear. Jamie Pollock.
Look for Mel.
Finds Anvari. And her square ball is taken away by Ferreira Bass. Only as far as Leah Scroggy though. Back to Zafina. through the right side. Ball down the right. Ayres, the ever-present danger. Up against Anita Lesh. Lesh goes to ground. Ayres keeps the ball and her feet, swinging it in from the right. Steph Parton controls it on the knees and then eventually brings it into her possession. Out to Lesh at left back. And Lesh only as far as Zoyce. It's a throw-in, I believe, might have just crept out. It is going to mean belatedly South Melbourne will make the substitution to bring Emily Raymond on for Catherine Vlahopoulos. So Vlahopoulos, who's done a lot of work in midfield today, leaves the match. And on 84 minutes, Emily Raymond comes on, hoping to play a role in getting South Melbourne a share of the points, if not more. Jamie Pollock rolls it back to Zafina. 3-2 the score, 5 minutes plus stoppage to go. Richardson. Now to Anvari. Battling against Burke, able to hold her off. Richardson pulling the strings, but this pass, not a good one. Intercepted by Lewis. Plays it back to Jess Au. Deflected out for a throw. Socrates Nicolaitis, you can hear coming through the FX microphone, encouraging his team from the sidelines. Ball falls to Ferreira Bass. Early pass, looping. Zafina out of her line, leads with the head and able to nod it away. Hirano will chase it down. Loads up a long ball. Medwin chests it into her control and then drives it long. Sienna Fogarty read it well in the air. And now bouncing out to the left side. Jess Au volleys on. And Jamie Pollock able to win a throw off Rena Hirano. Bronte James is getting ready to be subbed on. Not sure who she's going to replace here, James. Normally plays as a striker. Surely they wouldn't take off Ferreira Bass. She has been excellent for them today, but maybe they want the fresh legs late in the afternoon. Zoyce, long ball. It's all Bayside though, as Maisels watches it roll onto her feet. And then rolls it right down to the byline, and will waste some time here as Ayres just jogs up to insist that the goalkeeper pick up the ball. .86 minutes ticked over. Maisels to Ferreira Bass. Raymond, her first touch. And now Fogarty for Bayside. Long ball over the top. Into the wind, it's going to hold up. Zafina, keeper sweeper. Clears the ball, hoping for Anvari. And Anvari wins a foul. It's done well. Up against Grace Norbury. Sub coming through for Bayside. Who's it going to be? It is Rena Hirano, who did score Bayside's second. Had a couple of other great opportunities to score today. Would have well and truly put this game to bed. But instead she leaves the game with the match very much still alive here in the 87th minute. Bronte James comes on. Bayside have still got Sarah Walsh if they want to make another change, while South Melbourne have got Irene Paraki. Other than that, both teams spare goalkeeper. Here's Amy Medwin breaking down the left side. Sweeping ball. Ayres at the far post. And blocked straight off the boot. Ferreira Bass getting back to clear it away. For a moment there, it looked as though it was going to be the Molina Air show once again, but Bayside had the numbers. Throw in on the right side, level with the area. Nicolacci and Ayres getting each other's way. Ferreira Bass driving clearance. Bronte James misses the ball. And now played back by Richardson to Blissett. Pollock to Nicolacci. Nicolacci low to Ayres, the little give off, intercepted by Fogarty. Prompts it out to Harbus on the left, and now Ferreira Bass slices it out for a throw. Long clearance, bouncing down to Blissett. She'll rolls it back to Zaffina. Deflecting through the left side. Amy Medwin still full of running at the end of the afternoon. Up against Jess Howe. Cuts it onto the right foot. Top of the box. And then closed down from the blind side by Lewis. Burke comes across as well. Lewis, safety first, puts it out for a throw. 88.5 minutes now ticked over. And Raymond with a loose touch puts the ball out for a Bayside throw. They'll try to slow things down here, but they're in defence. They don't want to get trapped with South Melbourne piling numbers forward. Richardson back into the defensive half. Blissett goes all the way back to Zaffina into the last minute of regulation then. Bayside 3, South Melbourne 2. Jamie Pollock, long ball. Flicked on by Ayres to no one in particular. It's going to roll down to Melissa Maisels. And again, the time wasting, the experience just to insist that Melina Ayres run all the way down to the byline and make Maisels pick the ball up. Goes for distance. The breeze has just subsided, so gets a good bit of distance, but Pollock wins it in the air. Now Lesh. Backtracking is Blissett to Zaffina. First time clearance. Scroggy looking into the last threads of a setting sun. Sends it central. Richardson. And now Melina Ayres on halfway. Turning and playing it out to the left. 3 minutes of additional time. The clock very much against South Melbourne here at the end of the second half. Bayside trying to hold on to what would be 3 very important points for them. South Melbourne have got possession, but they're in their defence. Zaffina out to the right. Zoyce, who started the comeback with a goal. Now breaking through the middle page, Zoyce. Allowed to run here. Slid a through ball straight into the feet of Parton, but goes and recovers it. Raymond keeps it moving. Now Anvari. Edge of the box. Zoyce. Closed down by Ferreira Bass. Charging through and winning the ball away. It's been so important in a defensive sense in the last 5 minutes. And now Harvest caught in possession. Nicolaci attempted through ball through the right. Ayres has got a window of opportunity. On a tight angle at the byline. Trying to get past Steph Parton. Fires a shot. And it's out at the near post for a goal kick. Trying to do it all there on the impossible angle, Melina Ayres. And ultimately the odds were against her. 1 minute of 3 stoppage have ticked over. 2 minutes to go. Maisels taking plenty of time over the goal kick. South Melbourne with players at the fall, but they can't control it. It rolls out for a Bayside throw. Ball in the hands of Molly Burke. Half of stoppage time has expired. 90 seconds to go. Raymond wins the header, but Connie Lewis is there to volley it away. Jamie Pollock and now Candela Ferreira Bass. Scroggy. Richardson. Through ball. Ayres broke super early. Was just hoping that the Bayside players would miss it, but ultimately too much on the pass, and Maisels able to hold. Taking plenty of time, and then slices a clearance into the air. Ferreira Bass with a flick on, but straight to Sarah Richardson. Her pass picked off by Anita Lesh, and now just a real flat floating clearance onto the head of Chelsea Blissett. Raymond to Medwin. He's got such a great engine, Medwin, still running at the end of the afternoon. And now Anvari in traffic. Went with the back heel, but Norbury, perhaps a nervous clearance, out goes for a throw. 30 seconds of the allocated 3 minutes to go. Now or never for South Melbourne. Throw in is going to find its way down to the left corner. Molly Burke didn't want to usher it out, hits the line, only as far as Anvari. Now Nicolaci, back to Mariam Anvari. Good challenge from Lewis. Able to win the ball away and then pops it out for a throw. 10 seconds then. Last chance for South Melbourne. Anvari down in the corner. Lewis wins it again and clears it out for a throw right in front of the Bayside bench. And as stoppage time expires, it's all on the generosity of the referee. The throw comes in. Zoyce. Was there a nudge by Ferreira Bass? There wasn't. And with that, it should be full time. Maisels will take plenty of time over the goal kick. And before the goal kick is even taken, the full-time whistle goes. Bayside do hold on to a very important win, and they continue their perfect start to the season. 3 wins from 3. South Melbourne fall to their first defeat, but not before giving Bayside an almighty scare as they tried to come back from 3-0 down. Full-time then at Kingston Heath, and it finishes Bayside United 3, South Melbourne 2.